Noonie Noon, your boy coming at you once again. How you guys doing? Oh boy. We're gonna start out with, you know what, giving God his. Lord, thank you once again for allowing me to utter these words and giving back to those that came before me. So please let your spirit take over, Lord. Amen. Okay, folks, this is part 3 of giving back to the folks that came before me. The neighborhood of Patterson was very, very vibrant when I was a child. I could remember certain individuals. Now, these people, I'm going to call their names out. And rest in peace if they're gone to glory and passed on and transitioned. So if they have offsprings or people that are still around, kudos go out to your parents, grandparents, or whatever relationship you were to these folks. First, there was a gentleman by the name of Mr. Dale, we called him. D-A-L-E, Mr. Dale. Mr. Dale was the type of guy. He didn't pull no punches, but what he did do is he had his own youth center, he called it, on Godwin Ave in Patterson by Summer Street, right on the corner. And for the neighborhood kids in the area, such as myself and others, he always opened his door up to us free of charge, no money. So I want to give a big shout out to Mr. Dale. Now, in that youth center, we had lectures where he used to mentor us about how to stay out of the way, stay out of harm's way, and out of the way of things that was negative for our growth and development. He had a wiffle board table in there. I hated wiffle board. He had a ping pong table in there. I hated ping pong. But, and then he had a bumper pool table in there. He indulged and engaged us with games, but when it got time to be serious, he sat us down in a circle and he gave us a lot of knowledge and wisdom. So Mr. Dale, I remember that and I appreciate you, brother. And I know you received your crowns and your rewards. So that's Mr. Dale. Now, there was another individual who was my 4th grade teacher. Her name was Mrs. Jackson. Miss Jackson was a straightforward woman, very intelligent. Her demeanor was strict but humorous. And she was my favorite teacher. Why? Because Miss Jackson was a very full woman. In other words, she was full of laughter, but her physicalness was beautiful as well. So to get her attention, I used to do things, and she used to say, "Johnny, now you know you're not supposed to do that, Johnny. Come here." And I said, "Yeah," because she gave me a nice hug, the best hug you want. And it was like laying on pillows. I mean, I'm sorry. Miss Jackson was so nice to me. And in her class, I really did learn things. So shout out to Miss Jackson, my favorite 4th grade teacher, School 6, public numbers, School 6. Moving right along, there's another brother, God rest his soul. He should have had all types of honors and medals. I don't even know, I was younger, but I remember this brother, his name, I don't even know his full European slave name. We used to call him Twig. Now, Twig was from what we had in the neighborhood called the neighborhood house. And again, this guy was another warrior, activist, and a community person. I mean, whatever you need, if Twig didn't have it, he would try to get it for you. Again, another person instrumental in making sure that the less fortunate kids and the kids in the neighborhood had someone to talk to and somewhere to go. Uh, I remember Twig walking almost everywhere he went until one day I seen him with a bike. So he got around. The cars wasn't necessary. He wasn't the type of individual who let material things stop him from being a real person. So shout out to Twig. Another person of the Caucasian persuasion was Patrick O. Irwin. This guy was a priest, but he refused to go outside of Patterson to give back. He gave back to the neighborhood. He was responsible for the basketball team that I was on. It's called CCC, Catholic Community Center. We got so good at basketball, we beat the top guy in the neighborhood, which was Bragg Boys. But giving back, Patrick gave us sponsored trips. He gave out food. He went to your house and talked to your parents. And if you didn't have any parents, he arranged it so you had a place to stay and eat. So, and he's actually was the priest and minister in charge of the church located in Patterson on Broadway, right by the Passaic Community College there. I forget that street. That's, what is that, Patterson Street? Anyway, it's right on the corner. And at that time, now check this out, for those who remember, we had what you call a wishing well. You may see some wishing wells in the malls, you know, like Paramus or Berlin Mall. But this wishing well, now think about this. This wishing well was outside on the street. When you walk down Broadway, you would see coins, money, everything in this wishing well, and nobody would touch it. So now, I'm not gonna call this brother's name, but one day, and God rest his soul, one day, a few of us was walking down the street with this brother. He had the audacity to jump inside of the wishing well and start scooping up money. We just cut ourselves off from him. But he did do that. I'm sorry. I had to let you guys know that. But that's just to show you now that the back side of this story is, if it makes sense to you. At that time, Patrick O. Irwin had so much respect, and Patterson, brothers in the community and sisters in the community had so much respect because they saw what this man was doing, so no one would dare steal or take that money. So that's how conscious our culture, the black culture, was at that time. So, and I know some of you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, shout out to Patrick O. Irwin. And there's another individual that I can't leave out. She was my Inca, what we call Inca Day Camp. This was my first job. My sister and myself worked at Inca Day Camp, which was a summer job for kids. And we was counselors, but we had a supervisor, and her name was Denise Bowie. If you're still around, that's right, I'm giving you a shout out. And if you're not, rest your soul in peace. Denise was so vibrant and very intellectual, and she got along with everyone. If you had a problem or an issue, go to Denise, she would solve that problem. You know, there's certain people that you just gravitate towards because you see the God in them. And Denise was that type of person. So basically, that's some of the people that I want to give a shout out to. But there's lots of more people that I'm going to call names later on, because there will be a part 4. But in my part 4, I'm going to have a couple brothers that grew up with me that's still around, so you guys can listen to their stories. Because again, one of my goals right now is to get everyone that grew up with me or before me to express their stories to the youth in Patterson or around the world, New Jersey, the state, wherever, whoever wants to listen, because we have to tell our stories, folks. If we don't, they'll never get told properly. So, once again, your boy Noonie Noon signing out. Thank you for your time. Peace.